Hello. Hello. I really hope my audio isn't terrible. Because I recently just had to basically reset stuff. Unfortunately. Okay. Welcome on in. I'm finally back. Hello. Welcome in. It's been a while since I last streamed, but I'm back. I do still find it fun, so, we're here. I guess let's just see what we're working on. Let me open up my Minecraft again, I think. Oh, it's already open, never mind. I'm working on Minecraft plugins, like, let me see, let me get my folders open. I'm hoping this isn't too much on my computer anymore, because I now have another monitor. Nice, yeah. Let's see. Let's go. So I'll show what I'm working on in just a second. Just gotta get it, so get my folders open and stuff. Let's see, test servers, this one, okay. Okay, and this folder, there we go, alright. Okay, let's run it. Great. How are you doing tonight or today, whatever time it is for you? First time I'm streaming in 2026. Oh yeah, pretty late. Are you in the UK or somewhere around there? You're like 6 hours. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you're like, it's only 7:30 p.m. for me right now. Alright. So here we go. Here's my screen. Sure, let's see it. This is my main class here. But let's go ahead and join the server. Alright. You should be able to hear everything as well. I'm gonna ask you if the music is too loud or my voice is too loud. As I was mentioning at the beginning, I had to reinstall SteelSeries GG recently. Okay, music's too loud. Alright, let me just lower that down a little bit. Let's say is it too loud? I only changed it like 20%. Yeah, I use SteelSeries because I have Alias mic, I have the Apex Pro Gen 3 keyboard, and I have an Aerox 3 mouse. So I just use SteelSeries and everything for it. I don't have SteelSeries headphones though. I have down a little more. Alright, no problem. There's another 20%. Nice. Yeah, I have SteelSeries everything except for headphones. I have Audio-Technica headphones, M50X something. Okay, this is what... Oh, Keychron keyboard and Logitech mouse, yeah. See, that's quite a few different company stuff. I used to have like a Razer keyboard and a SteelSeries mouse, and I was tired of having the Razer software, so I just finally got a SteelSeries keyboard. Don't have to use Razer or anything anymore. Yeah. So let's see. Plugins, we got... Yeah, it's not very... I honestly don't even remember how it is. I haven't used it in a while. It's been a long time. Okay. So we are using... we only have Fast Async World Edit and my plugin here, BambooPrison. So the different features we have so far in here. There's a new Prison Core, then Astra. I started over again because it's been a while since I worked on it, and it is so hard to keep up with just sticking to one project, honestly. But we have this Omni tool here and a little backpack feature here. This works, obviously, you know, switches to pickaxe, switches to shovel. We'll switch to an axe if there's wood. But I built this little house over here to make a schematic out of. So yeah, these are real blocks here. So you interact with the door and everything. So these are all real blocks here. So I made a schematic of that, and then I put the schematic from FAW. I'm gonna call this FAW. Into my own plugins schematics folder. So I finally messed around with that. So I have my plugin folder schematics. So we have a house and an offset one to test pacing offset. And we have this schematic command. So I'm going to use house offset. Or actually, I'm just going to use normal house. And then the typical Minecraft coordinate type thing here. So this means relative to me, it should be at my location. So paste that in. There we go. Very quick paste. See, it's my plugin that pasted it in, not FAW. And these are not real blocks. I can't interact with it, but I can mine it and stuff. If I right click, they stay as they are. I just can't open the door because there's no functionality for that, since it's not a real door. As you see, if I break it, the other part stays. So, yeah, similar, but completely different use case. Also, everything I'm breaking is going into this backpack. So there's 12 items in it right now. There's 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. And then, if I break stuff now, everything just goes right to my inventory because the backpack's full. Just like a normal prison server, as you would expect. Also, if you break this, there are real blocks here. I'm not too sure how to make that update properly, but if you update it, it'll go right back to the block that it was. Even if there's a block like over there. See? But yeah, so we have backpacks, we got different tiers you can configure. So there's a common one. There's a common one that has a lot more blocks in it. 1,152. Let's say epic. This one has 3,456 spots. So yeah, lots of room in these backpacks here, and they're all configurable. So if I was to go into my plugin folder, modules, backpacks YML. So here we go. So we got it's a flashbang, but at the progress bar, you can change how it looks on the backpack. And also, I have you can actually right-click the backpack to open up this dialogue, which is a newer feature in Minecraft. It just displays the storage right now. There's no other buttons. I want to make different dialogue types because this is just a notice dialogue. It only displays text. So I'll make a different type of dialogue to add another button to like sell or empty the backpack as well. Yeah, they're relatively newer. I forget what version they added them in, but yeah, they're pretty new. So there's dialogues and stuff you can make. And this is the configuration for the dialogue. I made my own little API type of thing to make creating them easily or to make creating them easier, and also to make them creatable from config. So, does that work? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I haven't touched the bot in a while. I can just paste the Discord link. Let me just get my description open from YouTube, because it is in the description of my YouTube stream. Which, by the way, if you, I know you're on Twitch right now, but my YouTube stream actually has 1440p streaming. If you're interested in that, it's a little bit higher quality, just 1080p, which Twitch is. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think the bot is working. I gotta check that out next time. But here, let me get the YouTube, or if you go to my Twitch profile, it's actually linked there, the YouTube. But here you go, I'll get the Discord. That's a YouTube redirect link. There you go. That should work. If not, let me know. I'll have to create another invite, because it's been a while since I streamed. So yeah, I made it easier to create dialogues through code and through configuration. Nice. Oh, you can actually read the text now? Is that what you're saying? Or oh, is Twitch not working at all? Oh, okay, no, it's live. We're good. Yeah, you don't see the link. Okay, well yeah, there it is again. But yeah. So we got that. So yeah, configuration, very simple for a notice dialog. We have the title here, which we can see is just backpack right here is the title. And then this is all the elements that are configured right here. So elements is just a list of strings. And not only that, I can also do like a diamond sword here. I forget exactly. Let me check configuration. I don't know if I have any in here. No, maybe. No. Okay. This is the default config. Let's look at dialog stuff here. All right, notice dialog. Okay, so did I not put some config in here? No worries. Yeah, sleep well. Thanks for joining as well. Let's see, where did I put? Thanks, thank you. Let's see, where did I put? What am I doing here? Backpack stuff, listeners. No, wouldn't it be in here? Backpacks here. Problem with multi-module projects, they can get really, like, there's so much in them you gotta look through. Okay, here we go. Backpack, alright, open dialogue. Okay, right. So this is taking the dialogue builder we already had, making a new dialogue builder, passing in variables to update the text, right? But up here, let's see, dialogue builder. There we go. Create notice builder, right? Here we go. So I have this to create one from a config. Let's see, how did I do it? There's material, there's description width, and show. Actually, I have an example in the Discord already. I don't know why I'm not looking at it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So it is, again, there's material, then there's a description we can give it. Then there is description width. We get 200, I guess. Show decoration. True. Show tooltip. I'm gonna go false. Width. There's a width as well and a height. So these are all the configurable options we can use to show an item. So if I was to go reload, there we go. Now you can show an item in the dialog, just like that. Very easy configuration. I would say this is very minimal as well. It's just a list of objects basically, and if it's a string, then it'll just put text, and if it's not a string, then it assumes that it's an object or an item, and it tries to parse it and then show it. So yeah, we can say, I bet we could do something. Let me try, let me see. Can I do, did I already parse that or no? No. So yeah, I didn't parse any variables for the item description. But I'll have to update that. So we could have like a chest, like, okay, so what if I did, this here, make this the description. Nope, I don't need to give myself a back. Right. Yeah, there you go. So you can do that too, which is pretty neat. And what if I decrease that? Will it? Yeah, there you go. Cool. So yeah, you can do pretty cool things with dialogues in Minecraft. And not only that, I have as well in my plugin, I made an API of my own for configs, so I could do YML configuration or JSON files. And I also made it parse, I made dialogues also parse from JSON files as well. So I could do either one here. Let me just get, I'll make a new paste here. Might be slow here. Transferring data to it, huh? Didn't want to load my there we go. Okay, finally. So yeah, so obviously we have the normal YML format, but I can also pass in a JSON format that looks like this. So we just have an ID of the dialogue. We have the title. Alright, title. We also have the elements, and again, it's just a list. This is an array of strings or objects. Right? This is an object, and these are just strings. So it works the same way, same configuration, different structure for JSON and YML, different syntax, I guess. So that's how I made it work in my API here. And the reason it works so easily is you saw how I create notice builder and you pass in config. This config could be a JSON config too, and I just pass it right in there and it'll work just the same. Because we're actually passing in it actually takes in a config section, not a config file. And config section is a custom object that I made that has all the normal methods. Like, yeah, you can get another section or subsection, which would be like, like header section 1 key value, right? Section 2, right? So you can get section 1 from the header, you can get section 2 from section 1, etc., etc. With this one, you can get the keys of the section, which is just like normal configuration section from Spigot. So I could get all the so I can get this backpacks section, and then I can use get keys and it'll return these keys here, and then I can loop through them like I would normally, and it's great. You also have if it contains, you have a set method, then you have all your get methods. Also have a get raw, so you can get a generic if you really need it. But yeah, all this stuff. You notice this is an interface as well. It's not even, you know, it's not even the implementation. That's so that we can implement it for both YML or JSON, so we can have different implementations of the config section, obviously. So there's that, and then that's what we pass in, and then we have implementations here. We have, you know, YAML config section. This has an actual bucket configuration section that it uses to get information and data from it and to set to. So that was really easy to set up. And then the JSON config section is a little bit different because this Spigot doesn't come with like JSON formatting or files and all that configuration stuff. Only a YML library that it implements. So you have to write all this stuff yourself or use a library. I didn't want to use a library for it, so I'm just using the already built-in JSON library. It's already built into Java. I don't need to have another library implemented for it. So yeah, I've already gone over this in like Astra, I think, because this is also from Astra that was brought over. So yeah, I could pass in a JSON or YML config to get from, or you know, read or write to, and it works. JSON works the same as the YML. The way I made my JSON configuration, it works exactly the same. I could pass in the same type keys, and it'll work exactly the same. And that's, you know, that's what a developer should strive for. You know, make systems, make you know, make things easier for yourself. You know, and that's another example. The dialogues. Normally, if I wanted to make dialogues, it's already not hard in paper. This is all paper stuff here. The dialogue API right here. So it's not difficult already in here. There's, you know, that create, whatever, builder, empty, you know. But there's a lot of stuff like this, Lambda and everything. So what I did was, you know, simply I wanted to create a dialogue. Like, let me see, do I still have the dialogue command? No, I don't. I think I did that in another plugin. But I can create a dialogue. Say, Bamboo dialogues, create notice builder, right? So notice dialogue, not this one, but mine. I can say, right, and then I can say dialogue dot, I can add, so let's say dialogue, how do I do it? Oh yeah, this allows you to add a raw element, so you can pass in anything that implements dialogue element. But I can do text here. I can just implement text and say, hey, show that text. I get to dialog.item. I can pass in an item stack right here. That's the easy way to make an item. But if you want to have if you want to be able to configure all the stuff for the item that you're going to display, like this stuff, you gotta do something a little bit different. I do add Bamboo dialogs, create item element, and that way you can do you pass in the item stack there. Let's just do that. Do that. Now there's no. How do I do it? I swear I have it somewhere. Because this just returns a normal dialog element, like normal. Oh, right. Yeah, so there's this. And there's some consumer that I pass in. The item element. And you pass in a consumer of a dialog item. So I think that was to say this. There we go. Dialog item. I can pass in a description here. Alright, dialog item dot the width of the description, the height, and the width of the normal item, whatever, show tooltip, show decoration, whatever. So yeah, it's a little bit simplified. It's not perfect, right? I don't think anything that's perfect per se, but it's easier, and especially since I can create them from config now. I don't have to hard code any dialogue. I can put them in any config file and pass it in, and then the players can create it and they can configure it themselves. And that's what's great about having configuration files in your program. Next up, other features. We have, that's the backpacks I just showed you. Schematic pasting with fake blocks. Yep. I showed the Omni tool. It switches to be the perfect tool for the job. There's no enchants for it yet, of course. Let's see. Yes, locale. We have different locales we can do. There's locale, there's an EN file for English. This is where all the messages are stored. Pretty small file right now, but as the plugin grows, this will grow too. What we can do is we can take this file, make another one. Let's call it es.yml. For Spanish or Espanol. We open that up, we paste those in. All the keys are still going to be in English, but what you can do is you can go just for testing purposes. I'm just going to do Spanish, Spanish, because why not? Just for testing purposes, Spanish. Just put Spanish everywhere, just to clearly differentiate that this is not the English file. Right? No permission. We don't ever really use this because Brigader doesn't let them use the command if they don't have permission for it. Anyways, so, but that I just have that there just in case. So yeah, there's that Spanish stuff. The English file is still just English. Let's open up locales. So now that we have that file, we can go here. Let's see, do I still have the language codes? No. Minecraft language codes. Let's see here. Language, Minecraft. Ew, I don't like this one. There we go. Minecraft.wiki. That's the new one. So here we go. This is where you would find all the language codes. Minecraft.wiki/w/language, right? So, you know, that's where I found like ENUS. Let's find Spanish somewhere. Espanol, Mexico. So ESMX, right? I'm gonna copy that one. It's the you want the in-game locale code, not the ISO. So now we're gonna go this one, ESMX, and we're gonna put ES to use the es.yml file. And hopefully that should work. I made them all lowercase or stored lowercase, so that should work. Yeah, ESMX. Bamboo reload, right? So you can see our ES file. Yeah, look at that. So the reload still has no Spanish in it. The help, let's do the help. You know, there's the admin commands. This is the English one. And how does it go here? Language, Espanol, Mexico. That. I'm gonna do help. There you go. Now we're using the Spanish locale, as you can see. Reload. Spanish, because I made the prefix Spanish. And yeah, there you go. So now it's it's per player, based on their language setting. So they don't have to go into the plugin and choose a language. It's already chosen from, you know, their client. So yeah, you don't have to set up anything else except the locale file and, you know, obviously translate the messages. And anybody who uses this language that you configure, it'll use that file. And there's also default one. So if you don't have a locale that they're using and you didn't configure it, then it'll just use the default one here, which happens to be English. So when I release this plugin, I probably won't have any translations just because I can't speak any other language. You know, it's English. So, but yeah, that's it's accessibility. As a plugin developer, I am so glad that it's not difficult to do this. And you know, people can upload whatever language file that they want and configure it how they want for their server. And you know, if it's a multilingual server, then you know, there you go, problem solved. At least in my plugin. Other plugins don't really do this. But yeah, I can show you how I do it. It's just go up to my common module here. I have a locale. So I have a few different classes that help with it. So there's the locale manager. It's a simple singleton. It has the locale folder here. There's a static. So I check it here and don't have to worry about it anywhere else. It has the locale and the config that it's tied to. So like ENUS is tied to the EN file. So ENUS, the value will be that file. Then let's see. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. And then we have the locale map. I believe this is for right. It's to get the locale. It's to it ties the keys to the other keys. I can't think of how to speak right now. But yeah, you're gonna be storing this locale to this file or whatever, and you know, so this is doing right. I'm gonna modify a mod. If you're working in Java, doesn't matter if it's for Minecraft or not, for a mod or for a plugin, If you're working in Java, I think IntelliJ is the best program IDE to use for Java. And if it's a Minecraft mod, it's 99% it's going to be Java. So you probably just want IntelliJ. And yeah, it will be complicated to modify a mod, especially if you don't have the source code for it. Then it's pretty hard. It's very hard to do that. But if you have the source code and you know how to code and you know Java, then it won't be hard. It won't be as difficult, since you could just import the source code into your IDE and then modify it. But yeah, okay, so the locale map ties this key to this value, and then the locale's map ties this value to its file. That's what that does. And then this is the locale's config. This one, locales.yml. And then here's our private constructor, since it's a singleton. You don't want to run this more than once. It initializes the maps, initializes the YML file, sets the default locale to just en, in case you didn't set it in the config. And then it calls it a reload. And on reload, it'll clear the maps. It will reload the locales to YML config. It'll set the default locale to the one from the config, or en, just more safety. It'll get the locales section, which again is this right here. So it'll get that section, and if it's null, it'll load just the default locale, which is English. And the reason it'll load the default locale is because it'll always have the English file in the plugin jar file. So if you delete English, then it'll be able to recreate it still because it's in the jar file. But if it is not null, then it'll loop through all the locales, and it'll put the locale to its value in the locale map. Okay. And then unique files, it's gonna look for which file to get, and that's a hash set, so it can't contain duplicate values already. So if there's no unique files, it'll basically act like there's no locales configured, so it'll just load the default one. I don't know why I'm explaining. We're going to be here all night if I explain everything, but point is, locale system, easy to get a message from the config. It's stored and cached, or whatever. And then a message handler. This handles, you just call send message to a player. You pass in the message to send, and then it'll send it from the config. It'll handle all of it for you. Let's see. Logging. I have log stuff. And module stuff for internal plugin, modules. We have an NMS set up for different versions, which hopefully won't be required soon because they're unobfuscating all the code. But yeah, let's see. Right, and then I have schematic stuff here. This one was a little tricky to figure out, but not too difficult next to ChatGPT. So let's see. This has this loads the schematic from the file path that you pass in. So let's say I pass in this schematic here, right? It uses compound tags from NPT data from Minecraft. And then it's basically just reading the file. All you're doing is reading the file. And you just have to know how the file is formatted. And there's different schematic formats, so mine only works for sponge schematic version 3, which is what fastest sync world edit defaults to when you save a schematic. So it'll only work for version 3 of sponge schematics, which I might need to support more if people are saving them in different schematic mods or plugins or whatever. But that's not a problem for now. It's for later. So basically, you just have to go through this page here. This is the sponge-powered schematic specification repository. And again, I'm using schematic 3. And it shows all the different, how the file's laid out, pretty much. So this is what it looks like. You have a schematic, or you have an empty key, and then you have a schematic, and then you have all the different data inside of it. And inside of it, you got like the version of schematic, the data version, metadata of the schematic, the width and height and length of the schematic, the offset, right? And then you have the block palette, which is actually a block container, and that has a bunch of other stuff, which we'll have to find. I think it's like something like this. Yeah, you basically just have to understand how to read the file. And that's what I had to do to be able to paste them in. Yeah, I'm actually gonna move this up there. So yeah, this is pasting it and decoding the file pretty much, so that I can paste the schematics as fake blocks. That's what I'm doing in the plugin right now. Okay, and then backpacks was interesting. I'm not sure if it's the best way to store blocks, but we have backpacks. Basically, how I'm storing blocks for each backpack is in its persistent data container, and it's encoding them and decoding the blocks to the item's persistent data container. It's using byte arrays. So when we encode it, we pass in a map of, you know, which material is it and how much of that material, and then we make a new byte array output stream, and then a data output stream, and then we write. The first thing we write to it is the amount of different materials, which is just the size of the map. And then we loop through each entry of the map, and you know, just write the name of the material and the amount of the material, and then that basically compresses it, and you're able to store items on an item, pretty much. It's basically an inventory. It's an inventory for the backpack. This is, and then to decode it, we just read the byte array. So we pass in a byte array, and then we're turning it from a byte array back into a map instead of the other way around. So you gotta read the first integer that is written to it is the size of the map, and we loop through the size. We get the material name, which is UTF. So you write UTF, read UTF, so you get the material name, and then you read the next int, which is the size of that material. It's in order. It's in the same order that you wrote to it. And that's it, really. Pretty simple stuff here. And then there's the data, you know, we got capacity and everything. Entry, this is just a record. Love records, very easy, very useful. Very minimal boilerplate or whatever, headway, I don't know. Get the manager, we're storing different backpack types, which the backpack type is another record. It's the ID. These are all the configurable side of the backpacks. And that's pretty much it. We got backpack command here, which is just, you know, give the player a backpack. It's pretty much what the command is. And, you know, the interact listener, which is just like, hey, don't allow them to place the backpack because then they'll lose it. If you place a block with persistent data on it, then it will completely erase all the persistent data on it. Because it's not writing the data to the block, it's writing the data to the item stack. And if you place it, then it's no longer an item stack, it's a block. And if you break the block, it's not going to have the same data that the item stack had on it. It's going to be a new item stack. So you don't want them to place backpacks, and that's what I did. I am still in Spanish here. Let's go back. But yeah, you don't want them to be able to place the backpack, so just run cancel out there in the listener. And then interact. When they interact with it, so when they place it or they right click in the air, then it will show the dialogue. As you can see, that's the listener for it. Pretty simple. There's also other things to consider, like prevent it from being craftable or being used in the crafting table, but I haven't set that up yet. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have an annotation for my locale system, so I just put this annotation anywhere I want, like this common lang. It's a final class. You cannot create an instance of it, and it just has the static final strings that you can access from anywhere, and then it's just the, like no permission, select a player, invalid offline player, whatever. So it's just storing the key to the to where it is in the config, and then you pass one of these in, so you're passing the key to it in the config into the message handler, and then that's handling it. Just getting the message and sending it to the player. Anyways, I'm bouncing around. I'm just trying to bring everyone up to speed on what I've done for this plugin already, off camera. This can be a final class. It's just a command. This is the backpack command. More brigadier stuff. Or brigadier. I don't know why I keep saying brigadier. It's brigadier. Yeah, there we went over the backpack listener. Backpack locale again, select backpack, invalid backpack, give the player a backpack, give another player a backpack. So, yeah. It's a pretty lightweight plugin so far, despite how much is in it. It's only 151 kilobytes, so that's cool. And the reason for that is because I don't have any external libraries. I'm not implementing any external libraries. I just have my modules being implemented in the main thing. I don't think I have any external libraries being implemented right now. So, yeah. I am hooking into placeholder API, but that doesn't need to be implemented into my plugin. It's an external API, not a library. Right, the Omni tool. This one's pretty basic right now. I'm thinking I'm going to put enchants in the Omni tool module because they're kind of work hand in hand. Like if you, in a prison core, you put enchants on the pickaxe, right? And you're not going to be able to disable the pickaxe and keep enchants enabled, because where else are you going to put the enchants? So they're not typical Minecraft enchants where they can go on any type of tool or whatever. They go only on this tool because this is the tool you're using to mine in your mine with. Yeah, Omni tool command, the language again given, stuff. Omni tool. This has the creating the Omni tool, checking if an item stack is an Omni tool, basic stuff. So there's not a lot in this plugin. The most amount of work that's gonna do it is like behind the scenes backend utility stuff, and like 2 features. There's 2 features right now. That's about it. Yeah, that's it. There's 2 features. Also some NMS stuff here. I did upgrade my packet listening systems from Astra. So of course there's all the packet listeners, they don't actually go in the version module anymore. They go into the actual main plugin, so I don't have to make multiple versions of them. I haven't tested this on different versions, so I'm not sure if it's 100%, working. But I know that it loads for 1.20, 1.10. Let's see, SRC, here we go. So like we have listeners, we have packet listeners here. Fake block break packet. It implements packet listener like you would implement a bucket listener. And then I have an annotation packet handler, just like an event handler. And you just make a method, and then you put whatever you need in the method. Just like I tried to make my packet listeners exactly how you would use bucket listeners, and that's pretty much what I've done here, and it works great. I don't think I use this or this anymore, or that apparently. Yeah, because I've split this method into a couple. So, if we're using backpacks, so if the backpack module is enabled, then it'll try to add the item you broke into the backpack. And then, right, I split it into two methods because this stuff is packets. This is a packet listener. It's not a normal bucket event, so it's not on the main thread. So what you have to do is anything that you're using the bucket event or the bucket API for, like adding an item to the player's inventory, you have to do it synchronously. So that's what this is doing. It's running a bucket task to then handle giving them the handle the stuff that needs to be handled synchronously, not asynchronously. So yeah, there you go, handle sync. You can look through this if you want. The VOD will be on YouTube and Twitch for a little bit, but it'll be on YouTube in a higher quality than Twitch. So you can go back and look through this if you want. Not really a lot to go over. It's just this packet right here is literally just to prevent the blocks from disappearing when you right click them. And more locale stuff, and then of course the main class here we've been in. So yeah, tonight I'm not sure how much coding I'm gonna do, really. I've already been streaming for an hour. I haven't really done any actual coding, just been going over the project. But I would like to set up a Trello, especially because this will help me stay on track and figure out what we need to do. So why don't we get started on that, right? So how do I want to set up the Trello is my question, right? Because we have a lot of internal backends that are done, like locale systems, we could say. Locale system. So that's done, right? We have a dialogue API, but that's not technically done. Only the notice dialogue is done. I need to implement other dialogue types. We say dialogue, internal dialogue API, right? Technically that is in progress. Let's see. Configuration. Internal config API, yep, that's done. Schematic pasting, schematic reading, how about that? We have a internal log API to log stuff. This would be the type of thing you would want to set up before you start the project, but I didn't really think of it before I started. So now it's a little bit harder to go through and make sure everything's listed on the Trello. Progress bar. I don't know what to say. Explorer. Okay. Internal and API, yep, that's done. Internal module setup, multi-module setup. NMS setup, yep. Alright, yeah, backpacks and Omni tool. I want to say is, you know, let's make Omni tool enchants a separate card, and we're actually put this in 2do because I haven't started it yet. I think this one could be done because it already switches between the tools. I just need to add enchant and then store them onto the Omni tool and stuff. And that would be under enchants, not the Omni tool itself. So backpacks, I'm thinking that they're pretty much done, except for selling. There's no backpack enchants either. I guess there's no purple, so it's not a color. That's fine. And again, these are fake blocks. If I was to relog, oh, okay, I gotta re-verify apparently while I'm doing that. I'm hoping that. Let me just make sure it doesn't actually show anything I don't want it to show here. No, it's starting soon. Be right back. Here we go. Yeah, see, why did it go to that one? That's not the browser it should have gone to. Let's go to the wrong browser. I have two browser profiles. Where's that? One for streaming and one for not. It should be going to the default profile, not my streaming one. Oh. Music paused. Oh, that's why. It changed my profile default to the streaming one. Should not be doing it. Alright, there we go. There we go. Now I need to remember which one was my actual account. Okay, that was my alt. Great. Try this one. There we go. Alright. So as I was saying, let's go back to the display here. If I was to rejoin, it's gone because it was fake. The server doesn't. The blocks that are pasted are only there for the client, so the server doesn't realize that there are blocks there. Only the client does, and that's the purpose of fake blocks, or packet blocks, or NMS blocks, whatever. So it's less of a load on the server, which helps performance, especially for big prison servers with lots of players on it and lots of enchants happening and blocks being broken and refilled and all that stuff. It saves a lot on performance. Right, so what were we talking about? We got that. Big block handling, right? It's done. So Omni tool enchants. What else do we want? We don't want to. I don't want to start enchants yet. We want mines. I want to set up mines. Mines. This will be complicated, I think. Not as complicated, but I need to figure out how do we paste a schematic in and determine what part of that schematic is where the players should be mining and where they should not be mining, right? Because I could easily just go in the creative here and right, I could just easily go up here and create like let's see. So just create like a little mine here, right? So imagine this is the mine schematic, and this is where the player's mining. I can't just paste in the schematic and know where they're supposed to be mining. I have to, you know, figure that out. Normally, what private mine plugins have done is they would do like, this is it doesn't have to be square because we're not gonna be doing anything there. We're not actually gonna be using this for anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Here we go. So normally what they would do is they would get like powered rails, because normally those aren't using schematics, and they would say, hey, place one here and place one there. This defines when I paste in the schematic, I'll have to search for the rails and then fill this area up with the blocks that they're supposed to be mining, like stone. And then only allow them to break in this region and not anything outside, like build a schematic. Like imagine there's just more building, right? You don't want them to break this stuff, you want them to break what's in here. Same thing, you don't want the enchants, like any explosive enchant, to break outside the mine. So yeah, we'll have to define that somehow, and read that in order to find the location of where they're mining. And that'll be per schematic as well. So you have to figure out how to do that. So we need like pasting in mines, filling pasted in mine, filling mine, determine mineable region, fill mine. So you're gonna fill the mineable region, and this could be a checklist actually. So let's say we do right. First we want to be able to paste the mine, which we already kind of have. We already have the schematic command. We can paste in schematics wherever we want, whatever coordinates we want. So that's good, right? Unless the schematic is too big to paste for some reason. So like I haven't tried pasting big schematics yet, so I don't know if that works fully as it would, like the house that I've been pasting. So find schematic pasting, that's pretty much done, but I want it to be through like, hey, do /private mine, and then it'll take you to the private mine and paste your mine in for you. That's what I want. So then find mineable region, right? And then we'll do what? Fill in the mineable region. Yeah. And do we want, how do we want it to fill in the mine? That's another question, right? So some plugins allow users to paste or to put in whatever blocks that they want. Other plugins have, like they'll have a menu where they can select which blocks they want their mine filled with. But the caveat with that is that every block is the same price. So no matter which block you fill your mine with, you'll get the same money. And that's the other thing. The other way to do it is the plugin owner or the server owner defines which block is in which mine, and when they upgrade their mine, the blocks in the mine can change to a different block, which would sell for more money. So I think I might want to go for that one. To be honest, I think that makes some sense. That's you know, we can make an auto sell system for that. That might be what we're doing. Okay, so what else do we need? We need to be able to hide other players that are in the mine. and that has to do with packets. Hide other players in the mine. I want to be able to invite players to your mine, and then they'll see your mine, not their mine, but they'll see your mine. They'll see the blocks you're mining, and they'll see you, right? So invite players to private mine. So that's another thing that I've never done before, which will be a challenge to tackle. Let's see, what else? What else do we want to do here? Invite players to mine. I'm trying to think of a typical setup here. I want to get the whole system down so it's easier to do for the server owner. Let's see. What else? I don't know. I think we'll have to figure out what else we want as we go along. So let's try to do this, you know. Oh, we also need a mine world. I guess like a world, an empty void world to create, and then paste the schematics in. Again, these aren't going to be real schematics, so that they're all going to be in the same. They're all going to be at the origin of the world, which is why we have to hide the players, because they're all going to be in the same spot, but they won't know. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and try to create a new module here. Interesting. I don't know why I made it so skinny. Okay. Mines module, and we're going to put it in the modules folder of the plugin. All right, same artifact and stuff, same Java version. All right, we're good. Create that. Okay, and the way that I have my multi-module project set up is, let's go down here. We'll copy this build.gradle here. I only need the API and the common module as a dependency. And I only need the bamboo.common plugin, because that's a custom Gradle plugin. Comes from this build source folder. And that has all of the stuff that I would need, like paperweight and Java plugin and placeholder API and the version of paper that we're using. So that everything here is being put into the mines module already because of this plugin. And so all I need for these modules is to depend on the API and the common module. And by module I mean, like, this is the common module, this is the API module right here. Just depending on these two. And of course, every time you make a new module, it expands everything. Alright, so we have our Gradle set up for our mines module. Alright. Next, I need to go to, let's check settings.gradle, that's down here, good. And I need to go to my main build.gradle, and I need to implement the mines module so that it is included in the final build of the jar. So there we go. And that's why we need a common module, because this main module depends on everything else. It depends on the common module. It depends on the API module. It depends on the NMS modules. It depends on the mines and backpacks and OmniTool module. That's why we need the common module, because these modules cannot depend on the main module. Okay. And the common module has a way to get the main class from the main module as well, so that's fine. This is how you avoid a circular dependency. I've talked about it before, and I've seen it before. There are plugins that would use tricks to... What they would do is they would use tricks to get around circular dependencies rather than just building your project to not have circular dependencies. What they would do is they would have two modules depend on each other, but say this common module or this main module depended on the mines module. This is an example here. So this one depended on mines, and mines depended on this one. So in order for this one to depend on mines, what they would do is they would remove anything that depends on this module, and then they would build this module, and then they would use that jar file that's built from this module in here as a dependency. And then they would do the same. They would remove anything that depends on mines from this module. They would build this module, and then they would put it in here for that one to depend on. And that's just stupid, right? Because then you would have to re-add the code in. And anytime you update a module, you have to rebuild it. And then, you know, you're basically making a bunch of external APIs to depend on. And that's just dumb. Totally dumb. This is how you do it. You don't want circular dependencies. You want to avoid them. And it's so much easier. I don't have to build any module to depend on it. I have it and it works, right? Okay. But enough about that. Let's use the Omni tool as an example here. So mines here. I'm gonna open this one up. Okay, so we want to make this package. So that should be it. So our ID or whatever, and our plugin name. And then I want to create another package, modules, and then I want to create another package called mines. Here we go. This one will have the mines module, and that will implement the Bamboo module interface that I created. And I implement the methods. I can make this final because I don't want anything to extend mines module. This one needs to be final as well. There we go. So the ID, I'm going to put that in a static string. There you go. And then I'm going to return that in the get ID. And now we basically have another main class. This is a main class, but for our mines module. So anything I put in on enable will be called when the module gets enabled. Anything on disable will be called when the module gets disabled, and then same thing when it gets reloaded or whatever. Which it should only get reloaded if we call the reload command that we made in our main module. So this is the basic setup for a module. And if we want a mines module, so we go to our API, or we want a mines API, so we go to our API module, and we can put it in there. So we'll say mines API, where's mine API? Right, and then anything we want to get from our mines module, we'll put right here. And that also means we have to go into our Bamboo API and create a getter for it. So let's say not null mine API, get mine API. Here we go. And then from Java doc, we'll say provides access to BambooPrison's mines API. Return the mine API interface or implementation of it. Not the best Java doc, but you know, there you go. But you know, I'm not very creative, and yeah. Also, if I wanted to, it'd be cool to go over this a little bit. So what is this interface, right? What it allows you to do is hook it on my plugin, and you could say BambooAPI.get. And what does that do? It'll get the implementation of this. So you call get, and then you can call get mines API, or get backpacks API, get OmniTool API, right? But what does that mean? What is get, like, what is this, right? Well, that's where the implementation comes in. And in my main class, it implements the API. So when you call get, it's actually getting the main class instance of it. So we could say we want to make a singleton, I think, of our mines module as well. Yeah, because this one has instance and get instance. And on enable, it's instance equals this. So we will go to here. Return the instance. It's not a singleton because we're going to create this elsewhere. But we're going to say instance equals this. Here we go. And then now it's just like the main class, pretty much. And it shouldn't matter if they, well, actually, but yeah, this is, the API is going to be public, but they can still hook it to the jar file and mess things up. That's inevitable. But the API won't have access to this class. Well, actually it will, but you know what I mean. Let's go back to this, our main class here, and we'll say return mines module get instance. Right? And obviously our mine module, we have to implement mine API as well. So they'll have this instance, but they won't have all the methods in here. They'll only have what's accessible through the mine API because it's returning an instance of mine API, not mines module. And any method we put in here now needs to be implemented in the mines module. But right now we don't have anything to, return yet. Okay, so I want to make a private mines world now. Probably, in here. We'll go here, we'll say mines world, and okay, I need to remember, how do we make a new world, a new blank world? Let's Google it, right? How to make a void world in Paper API. Portable generator. This is from this is Hanger plugin. Void generator plugin. Search assist looks like it might. Oh, there's a world creator. Let's look at the API here. It doesn't have any, creating worlds, probably, I would assume. I don't think so, actually. Command and components, event, API, entity API, inventories, life cycle, data, registries. Okay. Probably not going to support Folia either because prison servers, that's not really what Folia is for. If you're using Folia on a prison server, I think you're doing something a little wrong, to be honest. It even says in its description that it's meant for like SMP servers or something. So we're not going to support Folia, but maybe in the future. It just comes with a lot of problems. Like there is no main thread in Folia. That's the whole point of it. So you have to work around that, and it's just a whole complicated thing, especially in a big project like this, I think. And I'm just one person, so let's see, how do we create a new world generator, or Right, again, I support it. Let's see, what is this? GitHub, it's Void World. 2024, okay, let's see. How do they create a world? Generator, void chunk generator. Extends chunk generator. Void biome, so they have a biome provider. Biome provider. And this is just nothing really. And void biome provider. Can we still do it this way? I feel like they changed it. Like some stuff might be you know, some stuff might be different. But we can still do that, so that's good. Biomes, list of biome out of the void. There you go. So there's the void biome provider. We don't need this in its own file. It's just that. That's it. So the generator, we can actually just call this void world generator. And this probably wouldn't want. I probably don't want to put this into mines stuff. I probably want to put this in like utilities or something. Worlds. Void world generator. Okay. So again, it's just that, and then we got extend chunk generator. Okay, so void chunk generator. Okay. So they override the default biome provider. The default biome provider. Right. And they have an instance of it. Hmm? Oh. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Static, void biome provider instance, and you know what, since it's in the same class, I'm just gonna put it here. Biome provider. Void biome provider. Right. You know what? I don't know. We're just gonna put this in its own thing. We're just gonna put it in its own thing because why not? I like it better. I like it better like this, and then we can just have the instance and make this final and. Yeah, and I think we could do private void biome provider. Can I do that? Yeah, because this is an abstract class. I don't think there's a constructor in it. No. You just think they didn't just make it an interface then? Well, I guess there's this. There's get biome. But that just returns this. They should have just made this an interface and made this a default method. That's what I would have done. But, you know, what do I know? Anyways. Oh yeah, and because it's not an interface, that means you have to extend it, and that means this class can't extend to anything else, so now it's, you know. Anyways, this is what I would do. I would make this, I would have made that an interface. But, oh well. I guess it depends on, you know, because they don't want you to extend something else while extending that or whatever, but it shouldn't matter, really. I don't know. I don't need this here anymore. Or this. This is, you know, I know I'm just basically copying, but there's really not, I don't know, how else do you just create an empty world, right? I feel like there was a much simpler way to do this. This is already lightweight as it is. It's just two classes, pretty much. Right, and then this is just the main class. Yeah, there really shouldn't. It shouldn't. Okay. I'm gonna search paper Discord just in case. Let's see. Okay, copy link. See, this is just Java doc stuff for the chunk generator. Yeah, I don't. It's not gonna help me out here. No. Oh, okay, wait, there's someone asking. Just a world with a generator that's just air. Right. How do we create a world? Is it just bucket.create world? Yeah. And then the world creator. New world creator. Pass in the level name. And the world key. With the new namespace key. Why does it need a namespace key? Oh wait, it doesn't. You just put the name. Interesting. I assume get world key. Okay. Oh, okay. So it just formats the name to be better. With no spaces in it. Underscore. Okay. Right. I'll let it do that by itself. I'll let it do that on its own. Okay, so that creates that. But then, like, what does that do? What type of world does it create then? Well, you're passing in the biome provider and the generators. Okay, so I think we pass in the void chunk generator. And that has the biome provider in it. Okay, I think this is what we just do. This is what we do. So the void chunk generator. There we go. Well, this all seems... Oh yeah, there's other stuff that will do it. Get default biome provider should generate noise. Let's see, do they have so the defaults here should generate noise. There's biome grid. Should generate noise. Turn should generate noise, which is false. So then no. I think it's just overriding things to make sure. Let's see, what should we... Again, they do generate noise. No, they just do should generate noise. Even though, again, it's already false, right? Generate surface. Should generate caves. Should generate caves. Right, so don't want to generate caves or decorations. Bedrock. That looks like it's deprecated. Decorations should generate mobs. They just have that as false. They shouldn't generate mobs. Okay. And structures, no. Okay, fix spawn location. Interesting. This is just up to me, I guess. So, and hopefully it's simple method, that's fine. I know it's identical, but it might not be in the future, and that's why we're setting it explicitly. Go, and I'm gonna go ahead and no. I guess I can't, it doesn't let me like ignore it. Alright then. So this is the biome provider, this is the chunk generator. So I want to go... Alright, so there's that. And then to create the actual void world... We just go, I think, world creator. World. Create void world. String new. So bucket create world. And this needs the name. No, it's the new world creator. Generator void generator instance. And this could be null. I'm just not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go. Alright. And then we'll just have to hope that that works. Create, this creates or loads a world. So it's not going to create it if it's already created. So we don't have to worry about that. So all I have to do is to void world.create void world. Or I could just call it create. Alright. Cool. Lines module. We're going to go ahead and create a thing in here. Private world void mines world. Mines world equals void world dot create mines. There we go. And I can go down here, public world, get mines world. Let's just like that. Now I can get this in other classes in this module, or in the main module. Again, I know I was just reading basically off of what someone else did, but that's, I mean, what else do you do? For one, this isn't like I know that they created this, but they didn't like come up with it or whatever. Oh yeah, there's the suppress warning. Like this is like nothing. Like what else do you do? How else do you create a wood world? And all this override stuff was just optional, pretty much. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is that's not really stealing. That's how else do you create a void world or something. But I will sort of credit this is this repo is made by Aurelion. It's void world, and it looks to be a plugin, not just how to do it. So it's a simple lightweight world generator plugin for paper. So there you go. You could do that. It works for multiverse and not. Looks like there's a release here from December 4th, 2024. Again, Aurelion. It doesn't look like it's on Spigot or Hanger. There you go. Should've get on like on it. Okay. So that's the void worlds. Let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to. So we're already loading it. We just loaded it right here. We just need to, when a player joins, or when they do a command. So let's make a command here. Mine and extend the abstract command that we created. We're gonna make it final because we don't want people extending the command. That makes sense. We're gonna remove these parameters and we're just gonna put them right here. Mine management command. And then for aliases, we're just gonna put like mines, bmine, bmines. And you can even say like private mine or private mines, whatever. Okay, so this is the basic command. This right here is what will happen when we just run /mine. So I'm gonna say we need to do essentially what? Right. Commands dot literal, and we're gonna do get label so that it's same as the command name. And dot build. So it'll execute with this context and return 1 for success or whatever. Alright, so /mine, it'll just create a mine with the default schematic. But what about, what about configuration? mines. And the problem with this, I don't want it to be in there. It's not letting me. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna create mines right now. Alright. Alright, how did I format it here? We want it to be uniform. Probably within mines of it. So we'll have types here, and we'll say an ID, say standard schematic. We'll use mine.schematic. Right, is it a dot schematic final? It's a dot schem. Alright. So that's gonna determine the schematic. And we're gonna want to say max expansion 5 blocks, right? So now let's go create. So actually create a mine now. So let's say rid of this, rid of that. We want this to be square now because otherwise, what the heck? 13, and this is 15. So we want to expand this by 2. If I'm not wrong. Okay. And let's make sure this is actually square. Here we go. And let's go ahead and do that. All right, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, and let's go ahead and do some more of that. There we go. Okay, this could be our schematic. And I'll keep this ghost on there, and which one facing? Oh, okay, I did not configure better free facing. We want to face south because that is 0. And then we'll do another glowstone right here. So TP. Okay. Alright, there we go. These are the coordinates. Alright. So now let's go. Like that, and like this. And teleport back there. Can I? Rotation. There you go. Okay. So now copy. Reset that, right? I'll go out here and paste it how it works. Good. That's what we want. So there's our mine. Alright, so we copied it. Now let's schematic mine. There we go, mine.schem. That's how you'll create a schematic. Okay. With world edit, I mean. Not my plugin. My plugin cannot create schematics. I can only read them. Schematics. Mine. Okay, there we go. So I should be able to already be able to paste it in if I was to use my schematic command now. Yeah, so there we go. And these are all fake blocks. So another problem we're gonna have to fix, let me go here to our thing here. Let's say expanding on fake blocks. This is a tough problem. I can stand on them just fine, but I'm in creative mode, right? So if I was to go in mode survival and walk around, and you kick for flying. You know why? Because those blocks are not actually there. So the server thinks that you're flying, which is a problem. It's a problem on a lot of servers, or a lot of plugins that use fake blocks. You can get around it by actually putting real blocks there and then just changing them to look differently. But then that doesn't solve the problem of the mine, where they actually mine, right? You know, because if they mine a fake block and it looks like air, but the server thinks there's a real block there, then they won't be able to get through the fake block that looks like air for them. For instance, if I was to say build this with stone, I think I actually made it not paste air, I think, so this might not even be a good demonstration. Yeah, so now there's fake blocks here, but these are still real blocks, not fake ones. But just imagine for a second, right? So these fake blocks are on real blocks. So now I can go in survival mode and walk on them. But imagine this stone is fake, right? And not real. So imagine the schematic doesn't have the real block, so imagine both the real and fake schematics have stone. So now I go in survival mode, I start mining the stone, right? Mine it with my pickaxe or my almond tool. Right. Yeah. Mining. And then I hop down. But uh-oh, there's actually blocks there. I can't go through them. I'll be stuck and I'll be like jumping and floating and I'll be stuck right here. So that's another problem. So we can't do that. The easy way to fix it is to enable flying on your server. But that is another problem. It allows hackers to more easily fly, which wouldn't be a problem in a simple private mine world. So here's another thing. That's not the best solution, right? Another solution is when they go to their private mine, you enable flight for them, so then they won't be kicked. So I think that's what we'll have to do, I think. Because otherwise it would just not... They would be kicked for flying. So the easiest way is to allow them to fly, but obviously that means they'll always be able to fly in their private mine, and some people might not like that, but I think that's just what we're going to have to do. Unless we figure out a way through packets or NMS to not kick them from flying, but that is, from what I've heard, very hard to do. I'll look into it though. We'll have to look into it for a later date. But for now, let's just work with this now. So let's look at our configuration. We have the schematic, and then we have the max amount of expansions. So what does that mean? So when they're creating the schematic, they have to paste rails, or they have to put rails to determine the size of the mine. Say, hey, this is the mining area right here. This is where they're gonna mine at. So then when they paste the schematic, we can fill this area in through code with the fake blocks that we're supposed to be mining. But people like to be able to expand their mine. So we don't want it to just start at the rails. We want to maybe fill in bedrock here. So we'll go ahead and say through code, we'll say, nope, not that one. We'll go here. We'll say starting size, we'll say 3. And we'll actually go max size like 5. So the starting size 3, that means it'll be 3 by 3. So let's go ahead and try and demonstrate this in an easier way here. Right, and then you here. So when they first go to their mine, it'll look like this, because it'll start as a 3 by 3 mine, and then they upgrade it. So now it'll be a 4 by 4. And then a 5 by 5 when they're at, now they're at the max level, according to this. So we need to calculate for this schematic how far they can expand before it starts getting outside of the border of the mine. So that's 5, so this will be 6, 7, and 8. So if we do 8, then they'll be able to expand their mine 5 different times. From 3 by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 5 times here. And then at their max level, it'll look like this for them. So that now they have a much bigger mine because they upgraded it. But we could also go 9 to replace this last layer as well. Don't know how that happened. We could do that. How? Hello? Why are you doing that? Right. That could be it as well. So we could actually go 9. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't do that because now there's no. Now all this would be bedrock as well, or this here would also be. Hello? Why is it not clicking? Why is it not setting my positions? Why is it acting like that? What? There. Yeah, so we can't do 9 because then there would be no border. There would be no border there. So, and also this 4 actually wouldn't get. Am I lagging? Is that what's happening? The 4 actually wouldn't get affected because the rail was on top. Was on top of it. The rail was right there, so it wouldn't affect the bedrock. So we can't do 9 because then there would be no more walls. So we have to do 8. So that's the max size. And it is also assuming that your mine is a square, not a rectangle. It should always be a square. If your mine is a rectangle, I think you're doing something wrong with your server. So it'll be the standard mine. That'll be their defaults. We can give this schematic to them as well in the jar file. Why don't I do that actually? Yeah, no, we'll do that elsewhere. So we'll have this file, and then now we just need to actually load it when they go to the world. So what happens when they go to the, alright, so let's just say we want this to be runnable from console as well. That way they can have like a button to teleport them to their mine or something, or through a different GUI that they want to make or something. I don't know. So let's do So how did I? Okay, so I just did the normal log here. So we'll say we're gonna do we're gonna say if they don't have a mine. Well, actually, no. Here, let's lay out a command here. We want to make sure that we write it exactly how we want it to work. Right. So they have /mine. I want this to create or teleport them to their mine. So create or teleport to their create teleport to their mine creates if they don't have one. Okay. Mine player teleport a player to their mine will create one for them. But how do we want to handle having multiple schematics? I don't know. Let's just create this for now. And then we'll figure out, we'll have to figure out the rest later. I don't know how a lot of servers handle having multiple schematics. Normally you would just want the one that they select. Or some have schematics of the same size, but different background. My player to get a GUI with info for the creation date. Maybe. Also welcome in. So you're saying a GUI with information over the player's mind? Yeah. It'll work. I'll have to write that down somewhere. Right now. Right. Yeah. Okay. Here, I actually have a Trello. Let's just do that. No, let's just put it in here. Mine command. Where's mine? Create or teleport to mine. Mine player. If player runs it, new info on specified player's mine. Let's just go ahead and do that. If console runs it, create or teleport player to there. There we go. And again, as for the different schematics, we'll have to figure that out somewhere. I'm not going to create the GUI tonight, maybe, because I don't have any GUI utility stuff in this plugin yet. Let's see. We could create a simple dialogue, though. We could do that for now instead of a GUI. Because that's just text. Okay. Teleport to their mine or create their mine. This assumes that there's different schematics to choose from already. As in creating it. If we have multiple schematics, then we have to store which schematic the player chose as well, in like a database or something. So I'll have to. All right. Let's look at this for what we're gonna do right now. So right now, let's just create the mine. /mine command teleport to the mine. So we're gonna use the one schematic, and that'll be that. Although, mine manager, there we go. This will help. Map string and string. Mine types. Actually, maybe not string. We'll do a mine type. We want the schematic ID, and we want the mine ID. Mine ID and schematic ID. At least for right now. Oh yeah, we want the start size and max size. There we go. So this will be our data container, and let's say mine type here. I'll look mine manager, mine types, new hash map. Okay. On reload, we're gonna have to reload our stuff here. And we're gonna put the config in here. Mine config. Did I have a download? Config manager? Yeah, config manager load YAML modules / mines / mines download. Yep, there you go. And let's add this in there. Okay. How are you doing, Jamie? And is the music too loud? I had a little problem with that earlier, apparently. On provider. Command. Turn that up. Okay. Right, my manager. Final config. Alright. Config section. Right. Types. Yep. Okay. Simply return. Then, type section, get keys, false for each. Mine ID. Mine ID, new. Mine type, mine ID. And we want the schematic ID. Start size, max size, right. Let's just say 5 and 8 is equal. Schematic ID, start size, max size. Okay, there we go. So this will populate our types, or my types map. And yeah. Oh man. Alright. After we get teleporting to it, up and going, I think we'll end the stream there, because I am getting a headache and a little bit out of it, so. And it's been 2 hours already, so. I want to be streaming too late. It's already 9 as well. 9:40. So, mine type, okay. Alright, let's set mine manager. Okay, let's go ahead and public mobile mine type get mine type ID. Don't need to do a getter default there because it's already going to return null if it doesn't exist. Alright, so let's see. I think that gets, we have a getter, we have a populator. We just have to go mines module, mine manager, getting seats on reload. We need to do mines config, reload, and mine manager on reload there. Alright. So this is hooked up already by our reload command because it reloads all modules. And this actually needs to be registered. So we'll go modules here. Module initialization. Module manager, register new mines module. There we go. Now everything is hooked up. Okay. But we don't actually have teleporting to it. So how are we going to do this? We have the schematic in the mine type. So, and we have a getter for it already since it's a record. We now need to say mine manager, getting seats, get mine type, and we'll say mine. Actually, it'd be called standard. Okay, you know, let's do this properly. Locale en mines select type. Why should I put it in here? Select mine type. Okay, and then we'll say invalid mine type. Invalid mine type. Okay. So, teleported. You've been teleported to your mine. Okay. Okay, another problem is with fake blocks, when we paste them, the player kind of has to be like in a chunk that, like you have to paste them in a chunk that's loaded by the player, which is a problem, because if we paste it and then change their world, first off, when they change world, the fake blocks will disappear. So we have to change the world and then paste it where they're, you know, loaded at, but yeah, so we can't just paste the mine and then teleport them. We have to teleport them, not let them see that it's not there, and then create it when they're not looking somehow. Yeah, okay. Okay. So one way people solve this is by sending the player a loading screen packet until the mine is loaded. But with bigger schematics, you don't really know when it's like finished. Some people paste chunk by chunk. Some people Some people, yeah. So you can do a fake loading screen. Some people, they teleport the player, and then when they get teleported to a new world, there will be packets sent to generate chunks or load the chunks that they just got teleported to, and then they would inject the fake blocks into those chunks, from those packets. And I don't know how to do that, so that was where I got stuck with my last core. So I think what we're just gonna have to do is, right now, just teleport them to the world. First off, let's say context get source get sender. Say if instance of player turn 1. So this is what happens when the console sends a command, and then this is what happens when the player sends a command right here. Player teleport. There is an async teleport method. Interesting, but we don't need to do that. What we need to do is mine module get mines world dot get spawn location. So that we'll do that. I think we needed to change the spawn location in the world. Now I think that was done with the world creator or the chunk generator or something, or the world creator. And that means, so I'm just gonna have the mine teleport them, and then we'll have a refill subcommand. Little command node source stack refill turn commands dot literal refill executes context. And then again, we don't know where we're supposed to refill, so that's another thing. Right. The problem wasn't refilling. The problem was that we have to send the fake blocks somewhere or somehow. So we'll just do that here, and then we'll resend the command once we're in the world. Okay. All right. Let's not overthink this, which is what I'm doing because I'm tired. Let's get the world spawn correctly. We could probably make this world creator, private world creator, void world creator, public void world, public world creator. Private static. If void world creator is null, then we'll initialize it in void world creator. Okay. Void world creator equals new world creator. Right. We need. Okay. So we do actually need name. So yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Alright, we don't need it. We don't need it. We just need this outside. Final world creator. So that's the generator. We want the spawn. No, so it's not in here. I think it might actually be in it. Is it in the chunk generator again? Spawn. That's can spawn. Get fixed spawn location. Okay, so that's what we're going over. I get fixed spawn location. Alright. override get fixed spawn location from the world. And there's a random, which we don't need. And it returns a location. So new location, world 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0. Alright, there you go. Pretty easy. So we're not even using the random. Cool. So there we go. That's overridden now. Now the spawn should be 0, 0, 0. And maybe we actually want it up like 64 blocks, maybe? I guess so. We'll see. So then let's go, my man, we're teleporting him to the spawn location of the world. That's good. And then let's so create, we're gonna create the world, right? So world from world. I want to set a world set block data. Can I not just set a block? Well, there's set block data. Get spawn location, bedrock. You know what? I think we could do create block data for material dot bedrock. If world not equals null. There we go. So it'll set a piece of bedrock at the spawn location, but also, you know, we'll just see if it works. Alright, cool. This will teleport them, and then they should be standing on the bedrock. And we actually want to take this. Put it in a variable because we're going to be using it. NMS factory, get NMS handler, get fake block handler, send fake block. Or actually, we're going to be doing the schematic, right? Got paste at the location. There you go. Alright, and this might be null. So, of course, returns a schematic. Schematic. If schematic is null, I'm just going to return here, and I'm going to put there. So this should paste it, but they wouldn't be at the location yet. The chunks wouldn't be loaded for them yet, so I'm gonna have to schedule it. Bucket. Get scheduler. Alright, and this is not actually pasting it. This is getting the location to paste. It's getting the block data and the locations of the blocks that are being pasted, and then it's returning that. Get that plugin this. Am I doing this right? I'm not doing this right. Oh yeah, scheduler dot run as later. Plugin runnable Well, oh yeah, and then the delay. Right? Let's do like a second. So this is actually just getting, as I said, it's just getting a map of location and block data. Map, location, block data. Paste, location. Paste data. And we can actually put this outside of the scheduler as well. Then what we do is we do NMS factory, get NMS handler, get fake block handler, send fake blocks, player, the paste data. You can't access INMS handler. Okay, what am I doing in the schematic command then? Right. Okay, okay, so the problem is that we don't have the INMS handler, and that is from, I think, NMS abstraction module? Maybe? Yeah, that would make sense. INMS handler. That means that this module needs to depend on the abstraction module. Hello, welcome in. Welcome to the stream, first time chatter. I'm currently trying to get this all hooked up, and then that'll be it for the stream. Let's see. Right. Mines module. Grail. Working on a prison core, but I'm doing a lot of packet fake block stuff as well. And that should do it. Yeah, and this is for Minecraft if you didn't see the stream title. There we go. NMS handler. NMS handler equals NMS factory, get NMS handler, there we go. Now I could just call it here. Cool. Now this should paste the schematic at the location. And it should be a 1 second delay, which probably is not enough to actually load them into the new world. So I'm going to say times 5, that's, yeah, 100, that's 5 seconds. And then we'll see how it will work. We have to actually register this command now, so we can go into our mines module. Command manager, get instance, register new mine command. There we go. Okay. I probably forgot something because I'm not 100% right now, but let's see. Everything built successfully, so that's good. Take our new jar that was just built, 166 kilobytes, not bad. Let me stop the server so we can actually change the plugin. There we go. And then we will run it again. We have the schematic in there, mine.spin, mine.schematic. Currently loading up. And okay, no errors. No console errors. Let's see. Modules. Okay, now we have the mines module here. There we go. Mines.yml. Okay, there we go. We have our type. That's good. Now let's see What happens when we log in? And type, try slash mine. Is there a world to create the mines world? No, it did not. No, it did. I lied. It's here at the bottom. You need to reload. There we go. So it created the mines world. Looks tiny, which is good. That's what we want. We don't want a world full of blocks. Oh, okay. You're coding. Oh, you're coding for Minecraft, but a script for the computer craft mod. Okay, let's see what happens when we type mine. I am teleported. Okay, good. And it's pasted. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Except the block we're standing on is, I think, one too high. We have to bring it down one. But that worked. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Subtract 0, 1, 0. There we go. Interesting. I will say I don't know what that is. But there we go. These are all fake blocks. So if you don't know what I'm doing, these blocks here, they're not real. The server doesn't know that these are real blocks, or that these are blocks. They only show up for me on my end. There's the client. So if I was to go into survival mode and walk on these, I can't fly, right? I don't have access to flight. So eventually, any second, kit for flying, because they're not real. And if I was to relog, well, first off, I would fall to my death. Yeah, as you see, they're not there. But this block is real. This is what we want. We want to spawn the player on this block so that they don't fall, and then after they're loaded in, their schematic will paste in. At least for now. And that's what happened. That worked, right? So we just needed to move the bedrock down one, which I just did. And then I'm gonna regenerate the world and see if that works, which it should. I just built it, I think, already. So we're gonna paste that back in. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna delete the mines world. Mind you, no other plugins. There's no multiverse or anything. Just this one and FAW. So my server actually starts up pretty quickly because of that, and because I don't have the Nether or the End enabled, so it doesn't have to load that either. So just a quick startup. Some HRSO issues, not my problem though. That's Minecraft server authentication problems. Here's the mine world. Okay. Let's go ahead and we already ran it, so let's go ahead and log back in. I am somewhere. Oh, I'm in the ground. Right. Nope. Okay. Well, let's just. So no, really, FAW doesn't have a. Okay. There we go. So it teleported me back to this world because I deleted the mines world. And it kept my location though, so. But yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we do mine again, teleported, standing on the bedrock, which is exactly what we want. Although we do actually want to center them. So I'm gonna change that real quick. We're gonna center them. Schematic and mines module, here we go. No, that's not it. Mines command. Teleport the location dot add 0.5 0.5. There we go. So we're adding 0.5 to the location, and that will spawn us in there. This should be returning a new location as well, not Oh no, it is, okay, so it is modifying it, so we don't want to do that. I want to say... teleport location. I'm going to clone that, and then add. Or actually, we could just say this. We don't actually need another variable for it. There we go. Perfect. So we're teleporting them to the center of the bedrock block, and then we are pasting in the schematic for them. So it should spawn like right here next time. But yeah, I won't get kicked when I'm standing on this block because there's bedrock here on the server side. So now we can disconnect. We can stop the server. We can rebuild it. And when I teleport, it should teleport me back to the center of that block. Alright, I hope the stream is running smoothly. There's no lag or anything. I hope the music isn't too loud. I had issues with that earlier because all my audio stuff got reset, of course. So, if you're still in here, command, I'm going to click command. You're doing a script for the ComputerCraft mod. Is that like its own language for ComputerCraft, or is it like JavaScript or something? Correct, let's do that. So I should spawn in the center. Yep, perfect. And I'm visiting 0, which is where I copied it from. There we go. Perfect. So that will paste it. And the only thing we need to do is not delay the paste. So we teleport them and then we inject the fake blocks into their chunk loading packets. But I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Or do a fake loading screen until the mine is done. But there we go. Now we have the mine command. It'll teleport them. It'll generate their private mine with fake blocks. So we'll send their mine schematic to them. Next thing we need to do is fill the mine using some way to detect it in a schematic like powered rails. And then, oh yeah, I can't place anything, of course, because it's not real. And we need to figure out how to hide players and stuff, but that'll come much later. Okay, that's what we need to do. And we need to save the mine that they selected, which right now there's only one mine type, and we're only supporting one mine type, but we need to support multiple types of mines and figure out how players or server owners are going to give a specific mine type to a player. And we need to also handle upgrading the mine size. But that comes after filling the mine. So we'll have to figure that out. That'll have to come next time, or I'll try to figure it out on my own, so I'm not doing a bunch of research on stream and stuff. Okay. That was a good 2.5 hours stream, 2 hours 40 minutes. Glad to have people join in and chat. That was nice. Again, it's been like a long time since I last streamed. Let me actually check when my last stream was. Five months ago. Yeah, crazy. So I've been away for almost half a year. But hopefully I won't take too long to get to the next stream. There's a lot going on. Again, thank you everyone who tuned in. We will continue this plugin. I probably won't try to stream everything I do because that was kind of limiting me with Astra. You know, I didn't want to work on it without streaming it because it was the whole point of it. But you know, but this one I'm not really gonna try to stream every single bit of it, but I will make it open source at some point. That's I do want this plugin to be open source, so don't worry about that. It will be open source eventually. Maybe when it releases, but not yet. Let's see. I think that's everything I have to say. You can join my Discord. I have my bots aren't working for Twitch or YouTube. If you want to watch the VOD, because there's a whole 2 hours 40 minutes of the stream, it'll be available on Twitch for temporary, a small amount of time. I think a month maybe, I don't know, but it's permanently available over on my YouTube, which is let's see, it's there for my Twitch folks. It's available on YouTube permanently under my live tab, and I stream to YouTube in a higher quality than I do on Twitch as well. That's another little fact. Because Twitch doesn't really allow you to stream in higher than 1080, at least not like unaffiliated people. Like I only have 20 followers over on Twitch, so or 30 apparently. Did I get 10 new followers today? That's crazy. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back for sure. And yeah, again, YouTube higher quality, 1440p specifically, and they're permanently over there, so you can subscribe to there. You can watch all my previous VODs as well. I've done some games. I've done some games with friends. I've done more coding streams, so if you're interested in more coding, I got quite a bit back over there on YouTube. And alright, again, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Hopefully it won't take forever for me to come back to streaming. So again, see ya. Thanks.